I really can't. It's crazy.
That's crazy. And 100 with Felicia, so 400 really under my fucking resume of podcasts.
Plus however many ever you've done.
This is a lot of fun. Ali, what's happening, baby?
Man, I'm sitting here still grooving to this Marvin Gaye. You know that's my favorite artist in the entire world.
Oh my God!
It's like trouble, man.
You know, with the E Hollywood, not the E Hollywood, the Behind the Music was on the remastered about maybe 4 weeks ago. I cried, man. I fucking really cried. Like there was something about him, man. When he wore that little beanie, there's a YouTube tape of him. He's got to be fucked up, and he's singing this. Yeah. But the band is playing, and he's on a couch, laying sideways. Have you seen that? Oh my fucking God! And he's singing like this is like me. I'm just singing from the couch.
Man, he's done one of the coldest things. Hey, I'm gonna make an album for you, but then I'm gonna make another album for my girl, and then you can get the royalty off that one, And I'm like, how dope is that you can make? I'm gonna make a jam and I'm gonna make a better album for my chick than for my wife who's trying to skim me for money. You know,
take
that album.
That is fucking
Marvin
crazy.
Gaye is like, I think that's one of the people. When the people ask me what my style is as a comic, I still add Marvin Gaye in there. I'm like, I'm like part this person, then
there it is.
Part Marvin Gaye.
How beautiful! Look at this shit.
Yeah, man.
Get it? That's all right.
God damn.
Won't you, babe? Did you hit it? Hey.
Man.
He's just laying in like a tracksuit on the couch.
Yeah, like.
Won't you, babe? Get it?
Man, that's.
In some basement,
Come on, babe.
somewhere.
It looks
It's
like
a
rec-
basement.
It looks like a pool, like a rec center.
That's not a studio.
But it's
Okay, we're going to
Marvin
the
Gaye.
top right now. Going to the top. Top. Oh,
Dude, some dude with the Rick
Bam.
James
That's his
braids.
nephew. That's Little Rick.
bam, up top. Very top.
Oh man.
Very top.
This is the type of shit that inspires me. I see this. Like a guy like him in a fucking basement with a tracksuit on.
Man, it's just the mystique of this guy. Just, hey, I'm practicing. I do it anyway. And then he's just sitting up like, hey, man. This is not even the actual performance. This is practice.
They're just warming up. They're just getting ready, warming up. They're just getting their fucking heartbeat going and getting their timing. And now they're about to set it off. That's how you write music. You just set it off like that. I don't know. I watched the Hollywood, the fucking Behind the Music. And like he hid for 2 years. Didn't he go like Luxembourg?
Yeah.
He went to somewhere fucking that nobody thinks of going. Did blow, took a big bag of coke with him and a hat. This hat that everybody's wearing now, thinking they're bad.
Took a hat.
He took a hat with him.
Some coke and a hat.
Coke and a hat, and he went over there. And I mean, I don't know. It's always fucked with me too. Like, when I came from Cuba, that was the first music I really was turned on to. And he was one of the biggest names, late 60s. I mean, I still remember that song with the chick.
Yeah.
That was big. My mom was partners on a bar, and they catered to the black people from Harlem, 127th Street.
Yeah.
And it was him and that chick. Fucking can't remember the name.
So that Tammy Terrell.
Tammy Terrell, one of them. My mom had a lot of those songs in the jukebox, and his voice was just, it's a shame. And when I heard that song that they robbed, I knew that was a Marvin Gaye song, but I'm like,
The audacity of Pharrell.
Oh
to
my
even
God.
Say like what are you talking about? You thought it up or you whatever his excuse was ridiculous. And then for what's his name? To sing
dumb
it,
fuck.
and to sing
Dumb
it
fuck.
and like, oh, I don't know that this Marvin Gaye. Your father knew it was Marvin Gaye. You should have asked your father who wrote all these theme songs. Who is this? It's Marvin Gaye. What are you talking about,
That
Robin
sounds
Thicke?
a little Marvin Gaye-ish there. I fucking, as soon as I heard what I was confused was because everybody samples today.
Yeah.
So I thought they were sampling. You still pay rights to it, and I'm cool with that. Hey, you want to sample music to make yours better? What's the Velvet Rope? Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
On one of those songs on that album, she samples War. Cisco Kid. Fucking brilliant. Brilliant. I'm in. Everybody sampled James Brown. I don't mind.
Everybody.
Everybody's sampled James Brown. As long as you include in that beat, I hear that bass, I'm cool with it. But when I heard that, and then I heard there was a lawsuit. Listen, man, what's that dude that last week stuck up with a Confederate flag? Kid Rock.
Oh, he
you
did?
take Kid
Oh, okay.
Rock. If I take Kid Rock and sit him down right now, I could quiz Kid Rock on any style of music. Prince, he will thump your ass. Didn't Prince do a tour where you could yell out music, $250 a ticket, and he would play it? That means when you have that ability, you've listened to everything at least one time.
Everything.
And you're musically inclined, so you'll pick it up. You know what? Wait a second. It's like Mike Tyson. People think Mike Tyson's a fucking Momo. You could get Mike Tyson aside and go, Mike Tyson, who's the best boxer in Cuba?
And he
in
break it down.
1953. He will start dropping shit on you that you'll sit there and go, how does this fucking guy know this? Because this is what they've committed themselves to. They want, once you become a true motherfucker like that in that realm, Pharrell. Come on. I had more faith. I thought
They
that
should have
he
took him off the voice as soon as he did that.
Yeah.
Come here, sir. You in the hat.
You in the fucking hat that you stole from Marvin Gaye, from his fucking. You even took the idea from Marvin Gaye wearing a cool hat. Because if you really look at it, Marvin Gaye wore the Charles Bronson cap in the 60s and looked cooler than a fucking, without the gold tee and the gold earrings, just a fucking Bronson hat. There's even a picture of him twisting that motherfucker in a white neighborhood. Are you fucking kidding me? That's how, that style they have now, that's his. He was wearing the hat with the leather jacket and the pea coat.
Yeah.
And the fucking pea coat in the fucking 60s.
Yeah.
That's how cool Marvin Gaye was.
You remember the album cover with him with the big silver boots? He had an album cover with some huge silver boots. He's sitting down, and he has on a little red beanie. And I'm like, yo, man, everything about Marvin Gaye was cool. Because it was him. It was like he was just doing what he felt. And like, man, how the audacity, the mitigated gall of Pharrell to say that it came to him. That's what drew you in to the song when you even heard it. You was like, oh, this is a Marvin Gaye. They doing, okay, Robin Thicke, I feel you. Trying to do a little Marvin Gaye rendition. Then he's like, no, it's me. There we go.
Robin Thicke. I was so high on drugs, I didn't know what I was singing. Bitch, look at that.
Yeah.
And that's before Bootsy Collins.
Yeah.
That's before Bootsy Collins. Look at those fucking things.
Red beanie on, blue jean jacket.
Now, what year is this?
Let me look it up.
Look it up. Because if you know anything about black people, they looked at that picture and said, oh, he's losing it.
Nah.
Marvin Gaye's losing it to those silver boots. Only Earth, Wind, and Fire was busting those shit out in the early 70s.
And then Parliament, if you had
Parliament
you had-
Funkadelic, that's
you had-
right.
You had my man George Clinton, which is George Clinton, man. That's the story.
I haven't seen 20 years ago, I used to see him. I saw him like 3 times in 1 year in Boulder in the Denver area when I was an open micer there.
74.
Wow, yeah, 74.
Yeah,
Nobody
that
was
was
wearing
coming.
those type of boots. That was way before Kiss,
Yeah.
right? Kiss wasn't wearing Alive till 75 or something like that. So, or 76. I don't know my fucking dates.
Kiss was a good group.
Kiss was good. When they first came out, the reason why I listen to Kiss is too sentimental. My best friend growing up died, and he was a big Kiss dude. And after he died, Kiss died with me. It was like, you know what, I don't want to hear Kiss no more. We put that album in his casket and moved that motherfucker on for the next life. He's up there right now, jumping up and down, listening to that Kiss stuff. Let me tell you something, man. I watched the. As soon as you did it, as soon as Ari told me, I watched it. Ali Siddiq, the fucking prison riot thing. And it was funny because I was laughing, but I was laughing at different things than people were laughing about. You really touched on little things that brought me back to being inside. Let me ask you something. In a real world, it wasn't that bad being inside. You had a fun time.
Man,
Guys like you and me.
That's the thing that I never get a chance to say, that I had a good time. It's like I grew up there. I learned. I was 19.
You were 19 when you went in.
Yeah,
and
19.
And 25 when you came out.
25 when I came out.
I was 25 when I went in, 26 when I went in, and 27 and a half, 28. I did 2 years all together with everything because they reconsidered my sentence, right? Because there was like the first time I got all these letters It was a very, I got like 800 letters sent from New Jersey. You know, New Jersey's a crooked state. So, but I look at my time now, man, and I got to tell you something. Even in diagnostic, where I always tell people, I told Bert Kreischer, I go, listen, if you think black people talk in movie theaters, don't go to diagnostic.
Don't go to diagnostic.
Because it's all night long. It's all, the brothers are yelling. And from the 6th floor, they'll yell down, Little Neg, what's going on, baby boy? Nothing, Big G. Just doing our thing. What's going on with that? And they're having a conversation at 2:30 in the morning, like you're not even in the room. And it's fucking magnifying in your little cell. It even magnifies more. I remember when I got sentenced, and I can't. My heart goes out to you because you got sentenced in fucking Texas. That means that shit was hot.
Super hot.
Super hot.
And
there ain't no.
You had to
Do
work
they have
in the
AC in
field.
jails?
Fuck AC.
What AC?
You get a little fan for $25. Your family got to put together $10, and they send you like a $22 fan. They charge you like $80. They jack the price up.
They jack the
It's
price
like a $9.95 fan. They charge you $24.95, and you have to buy it directly from the prison. They have a black and white little TV, you know, $49.95 with the antenna with 3 channels. You got to fucking.
You pick up the slack, but did you guys realize you were having a good time when you were there, or is it like after being out 10 years? Because if I was brought to jail today, I would have a meltdown. Like if someone told me I was going to jail, I would have a meltdown.
It's segments of good times. It's not like a total country club, but then you'll look back and you'll think, oh man, that was an all right day that I had today. I had an all right day. You know, I had a water fight in prison with another pod. We was going to necessities, and I don't know what happened. One guy threw some water, and then it was like, "Oh, that's what you doing?" So everybody got bags of water and buckets and all type of stuff. So when they would come back in the same pod, we would throw water at them. They would throw water at us, and the officers couldn't do anything about it because they had to let us out to go get clothes. So it was like that was a time, and then we played flag football one time, and then there was some things that you bond with a couple of people. And then you say, okay, that was a good time. Like I remember my guy got caught masturbating, and that was that was hilarious because the lady came in. We saw him run up to his cell, but we didn't know what he was going for. And then all of a sudden, she's doing the count, and she's hollering, "Hey, put that up!" And we dying. It's like because we know what he was doing. He was like, and so we joke about that for an hour. That some time passed.
They don't let you masturbate in prison?
Not on the female officers. You can't do it where they can see you, but it was like he had on some shades and it's like his prison jacket with nothing else on but his boots, and he was so it was like it was hysterical.
When I was arrested in Seattle, I was in there for a month, and at the time I was dating a fucking dirty whore. I mean, I couldn't even think of being away from it. You know those dirty whores that you rip their pants off and fuck them, and you fuck them with a yeast infection. You don't give a fuck, Jack. You just tear that ass up. And I went to prison, because I was fucking her every day. So here I am locked up, and I would go in the shower, take an hour shower, jerk off in there, shave, come back, go under the blankets, bang one out in there, and I had this little picture of Pamela Anderson, and all it was like from her waist down. Had cut off her arms. Somebody had jerked off on her arms and like a mid-torso. I had like this arm here and this side and her little pussy, which was beat to death from people looking at it. And I was just jerking off looking at her like her feet. And I would put the blanket over my head and just jerk off under the blanket like a savage. And one day somebody said, "Joey, stop it." And I thought I was getting away with it. And your demented, perverted mind, you really think they're not watching you, or that people don't see your hand moving up and down, but you're banging one out.
But wouldn't it be bad if they didn't let anybody do that? Like guys.
No, they're not. It's not that it's banned. They want you to do it on your own time, like in your own.
But I've seen that
space.
before in some prison shows. Like some places just don't let you do it at all.
Yeah,
and I feel like with people.
She'll jerk off next to Paula when she's sleeping, and she wouldn't know.
You think so?
Fuck, I used to do it all the time. After they pass out, you still want to shoot a load, but they passed out.
Yeah.
And you just do a cappuccino in your hand because your whole body don't move, just your wrist and your little hand moves. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be prison savvy.
Yeah, you gotta be
That's
prison savvy.
like prison savvy stuff.
I've never
right?
jerked off next to anybody. That's fucked up. That's fucked up, Joey.
Fuck yeah, you gotta jerk off next to Mama one time.
You gotta be real. You gotta get all this. It's just
a little hand.
I had a buddy once who told me that he used to have to masturbate in the bathroom. And it was just when smartphones came out. He's like, I go and I do it in the bathroom from my phone. I do it into the toilet. I'm like, that sounds terrible having to do that. Like,
Where do you do it?
when she's there, I don't. But then when she doesn't, when she's not in my house, I
You
don't
do
have
a
to.
living room out in the open with the shades open?
No, I do it in my bedroom.
Okay.
But
Or
that,
you
but she
turn
doesn't
the
live
lights
there.
on,
Like
you light
candles.
and shit.
Sometimes, I mean, if the mood strikes, I could.
Put on a little Marvin Gaye.
You know, it's fun, but I want you to describe for them the first 30 days after you get sentenced, because it's not that it's not fun. It's that you're at different places, but you have all the doubts in your head. Once you get settled, it becomes something else. But if I see him on Tuesday and he says to me, baby boy, say a prayer for me, I'm going to get sentenced on Thursday. I got this. And all of a sudden, we're like, dog, I'll see you Saturday. We're going to do that thing, right? Yeah, I'll see you Saturday. Don't worry. God's going to keep you out. When he goes in on Thursday, gets sentenced, that's it. Sometimes if you got a good attorney, they can keep you out for 6 hours while you get your shit together. But 9 out of 10, once he sentences you, that's it.
Gone.
So you've got all this stuff left. And then when you go in there, now you have all this doubt. I mean, this poor guy was 19 years old. I was 25. In the back of your mind, what are you thinking?
A lot of doubt. You think that you're tough enough. You hope that you're tough enough, but you have to rely on things that people taught you or people said to you that were in the county with you that been down before. And I relied on everything that my uncle told me, my Uncle Alfred and my Uncle Mac, everything they told me I did, and it was like, it went like clockwork. It went just like they said. It's like, yo, when you get in there, don't go straight to your cell. Go in your cell, put your stuff down, come back out, close the door to your cell, and stay in the day room. Because if you don't do that, people gonna think you're not tough. They're gonna think they can take advantage of you. So had this whole mentality of, yo, I do whatever to defend myself. You know, and he said you gotta get away from what you think is civilized in the world. Because that's what we call it, the world. You know, once you inside, everything else is the world. This is your new place, is being inside this cell, being inside this block, inside this prison. And whatever you think is savage, it's probably the norm here. You know, like, I remember getting in a fight and I couldn't leave it like that. I knocked the dude out, and then I filled the mop bucket up, and I went up a flight of steps and I dropped the mop bucket down on him. You know, like a savage animal. And my shirt is off, and I'm telling the officers, y'all come in here, I'm about that too. And I really wasn't about that, them officers, because when they came in different. It's like 8 of them, and they beat you up real bad. But it's like the mentality was for everybody else, to let it be known. If you cross me, this is why I'm going with it. You know, so it's hard to even look at a fight as a fight in there. I'm trying to get you as close to death as I can get you, you know, without killing you to catch a free world case, you know. But if I could get you close to death for you to think about it, and your friends to think about it, and your comrades and whoever else with you, because there's some other people that are trying to, oh, he from my neighborhood, so I want to defend him. But you don't even know this guy. You don't know what he did or whatever. But I gotta stop that too. You know, it's not just about this person in front of you. Like, I remember this guy, man. He allowed this dude to do something to him, and I said, hey, man, that's gonna be bad if you don't respond to that. And dude's like, nah, I think it'll be okay. Then the next time I see him, he's sitting next to the pisser in the day room, sitting right next to the pisser in the day room, and people coming peeing while he's sitting there. He has no respect. He's reduced to nothing because you allowed somebody to get away with something in there, and I can't let you get away with an inch. Not an inch, not even nothing. Like, it's like you're a savage because you have to maintain, hey, man, if you cross me, it's something bad gonna happen to you. And I'm talking about now, like ASAP. It's not gonna happen tomorrow. It's gonna happen right now.
How long did it take you to get into that mentality?
Probably 2 weeks. 2 weeks, because I was sentenced, and I was getting ready to go to the prison. I was in the county, in this spot called 10B3, and everybody, 10B3 was like a place that you heard about in the streets. you in the streets, you hustling, people be like, yeah, I was on the 10th floor, you know, I was in 10B3, 10A2. These are all corner tanks. So it's like you come in the corner tank, it's like this room having another part around the corner that the officers can't see that you're in. So you in more danger in a corner tank. So I remember being in processing, I'm thinking, okay, they already said I'm going to the 10th floor, and I'm just sitting there like, just don't let it be a corner tank. Just don't let it be a corner tank. And the man gets right to me and says, 10B3. I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. So I get to 10B3, and I'm sitting in the little festival area, and I'm holding a sandwich. They give you a sandwich with like a dot of peanut butter in the middle because you're coming from processing. And I'm sitting there, and some dudes come up to the bars and like, yeah, that's him right there. And I'm like, yo, what part of the game is it? He was like, yo, that's him. That's the one who slapped my sister. I'm like, I don't even know his sister. I've never even slapped a woman. And then I went back to what my Uncle Alfred said. People gonna try to get pumped up to see where you at. You respond to that with savage force. And I was like, then my mind clicked in. Yeah, I'm the one that slapped your sister. And when I get in there, I'm gonna try to murder you. Hopefully you already sentenced. And dudes is like, yo, what's wrong with this dude? Like, yo, man, I'm too small to allow somebody to think they can do something to me. You know, that's my whole thing. I'm way too small for a person to think that you got any type of inch with me. And it was just getting into this, and it's like coming from war when you get back in the streets. Now I have to try to go down, take it down a notch.
Right, I remember that. Yeah.
Take it down like several notches, because I know for 6 years I'm capable of murdering anybody. Even though I was a non-violent offender when I came in here, I came in here for drugs, but I'm able to murder anybody in cold blood and just sit there. And just sit there and like, yo, whatever, because you did something to me. Now, when you get on the streets, you have to slowly try to get adapted to disrespect. And I wasn't accustomed to that. And there you don't get, if somebody disrespects you, it's intentional. You know, it's intentional to try to see where you are. And I went through that process maybe a couple of times because I went to different prisons. You know, I was on Bill Clemens, I was on Darrington Unit, and I remember that when they sent me to Torres, I was 21. I was considered an older guy. I was considered a vet. So they was like, well, we need some vets to kind of calm down these youngsters and give them the way. So they sent me and some other vets there. And I remember this dude came up to the processing fence. He was like, yo, little man, when you come out here, we gonna have some words. And I just looked at him. Never said a word to him. Just looked at him. Because I knew when I got on the other side of this fence, I was gonna seek him out. No matter where they put me on this prison, I was gonna seek him out and have a conversation with him. Like, yo. And I did. And I told him, hey, if you ever speak out of turn to me again, you won't make it home to see your people. And I said, that's the end of this, the end of our conversation. And I left. And we never had words again. I'm like, yo, because I'm telling you, I'll paralyze you. And it was an easy thing for me. I'll take off both pair of my socks, put a canned good in my socks, and I'll just hit you in the head. Hit you right in the top of your head several times. Or I'll take the top of a tuna fish can, and I'll bend it, and I'll shape it, and I'll bend it, and then I'll come stab you in your throat with it. With no problem. Because I feel that's what you're going to do to me. So prison is even though you have fun once you respect it, once you settle in, but it's a process where people think that they can haze you, and you have to stop that hazing ASAP, or you're gonna be somebody's stepping stool, so to speak.
No, you become a lot of people's stepping stools.
You know, people
That's just one. They'll just take it from you.
People take stuff out your hand, take stuff from you. I used to watch it, and it used to irritate me. And I talk to them dudes. Hey, how can you let somebody? Let me give you a tip. Do you have a hot pot? They was like, yeah. Take that hot pot, boil you some Bippy. It was like this stuff like Comet, but it was like Comet and bleach mix. Get that to hot as you can get it. Then you put something else in there, some candy or something. You put some Jolly Ranchers. You put anything else that you want in there that stick. Take that hot pot and you throw that stuff in his face. And then you start beating him with the hot pot. And then you tell me how disrespect goes after that. You know, just you gotta do something to get people off you, man. And then it's like, well, I'm not equipped. You know, look, let me put you in a mind frame. Somebody's raping your daughter. What you gonna do? Just have that in your brain and go from there. And I guarantee you that you won't be disrespected in a minute. I guarantee it.
Now, I mean, first of all, your uncle's like fucking Sun Tzu. All right, that motherfucker should write a book for people going in.
He should.
Sun Tzu. But a lot of what Ali is saying applies to life. In my world, I came from an immigrant mentality, and my mom had stabbed the motherfucker in Cuba who raped her little sister. My mom got out of Cuba. They helped her get out, came to the States, went back to Cuba with an alias, and then had me and my sister, and then came back here and then kept the fucking alias. But my mother's thing was no, nothing. Like, there's no mercy in this life. Like, as soon as they disrespect you, you go for it. When I was a little kid, I remember my mom used to have hand signals at the park. This meant knock them out, punch them in the face, you know. My mom was old school like that. I was raised like that. Once I got on drugs throughout the years, I mean, don't get me wrong, you don't get the first base around me. I always stop a motherfucker and talk to him. Maybe some people are very confused, especially when you get to cities like this.
Yes.
People are very confused when they get around four people. And they don't know that in my world, 4 people ain't shit, because I'll hit you with a fucking bottle, it'll blow up, and those other 4 motherfuckers will piss their pants. I've seen it 1,000 times. Once the shit goes pop, pop, and the motherfucker goes, ah! His little friends will piss their pants. And now you look at them and they melt. They'll give you their fucking wallet. They just give it to you. Here, man, we don't know this motherfucker. Fuck him. We hate him too. It's amazing how quick the tide turns. And I'm from that mentality. That's why people didn't fuck with me at the Comedy Store for a long time. Some people don't book me because I'm old school. I come do a job, you pay me. That's it. There's no, you know what I'm saying? I don't leave without my fucking check. There's a lot of things. And Lee and I were talking about this, that, you know, what's Tony say? You have to set your marker and enforce it. And that just goes to street life. That goes, and it's really weird. When I got off the coke 8 years ago, it changed my career. It changed me as a human being, because I always had that fear that I was going to go to prison if I stabbed you in the fucking head and I wouldn't be able to do my cocaine. That little addiction held me back at times. Not that I would think about it, but somewhere in my psyche. I remember when I got off coke, like the first 3 months, I just went and talked to people and straightened them out. And they were like, what are you talking about? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. About 8 months ago, one Friday night, you made a remark as I was getting in the car. You didn't think I heard it. I just drove away because I know better. You're a piece of shit. You ever say something like that again, I will fucking hit you with a sewing machine. And they would look at me, dog, like they didn't know what the fuck I was talking. But my life changed because that's how I was raised. I was raised like that. I didn't have, I went in diagnostic. It was a little real in diagnostic. The 10 days I was in diagnostic, motherfuckers were getting knocked out. People putting fingers in people's foods. That was a fucking jungle there. That was a jungle. Once I got to where I was going, I had a beef with a biker dude. He just thought he was cute around his friends, but I caught him by the laundry machine one day by himself. The laundry room was next to the HIV ward. The HIV ward was brand new when I got locked up. They didn't know. You know, Rock Hudson declared HIV in 85. I got locked up in 88. They just built these motherfuckers a whole new wing. Brand new microwave ovens, refrigerators, and you weren't allowed in there. You know what? They were human beings. So I would go in there and eat with them, and I'd hide my drugs in there, and I'd hide my betting slips in there, because they never, the cops wouldn't even go in there. They were scared to touch anything. So everybody would hide shit in there. It was amazing. I sat in there one night, and I caught that little motorcycle motherfucker going into that laundry room with a bucket of clothes. The first thing I did to him was I stole the American cheese thing from the kitchen, and I put a piece of shit in there. I took a piece of shit and I put it right in there. I took the shit in the toilet, I took it out, and I took the American cheese flag that was in the shit, in the flag, and I stuck it in the shit, and I put it in his drawer. The dude was always cute around his little fucking biker dudes. And I played with him that way. We were both in the same unit because I worked in the kitchen. I was a stock clerk, and he worked in the kitchen. He was a cook or something like that. But when he was around the black dudes in the kitchen, he wouldn't say much because deep down inside, he hated black dudes. He hated Spanish people. When he was with his boys with long hair, oh, you should have seen him out there without his jacket on and shit. And I just made him. I go, I'm going to make an example of this motherfucker. This motherfucker has no idea what I'm going to do to him. And after I took the shit, he knew it was me. But he didn't have the balls to come up to me in that kitchen ward. See, he was going to get me when he was around his little buddies in the daytime. But I caught him that Sunday night while he was doing laundry, Ali. And I got him by his hair. That's why I don't wear long hair. I don't give a fuck what concert you're going to see or what revolution you want to go. There's a lot of things real motherfuckers don't do. They don't have long hair. They don't put earrings on with a loop. No earrings in your nose because a motherfucker like Ali will rip that fucking earring out of your nose. You know, you think you're cute at Starbucks. You ain't going to be no cute with that hook fucking nose no more. All right? They'll rip it right out. And you don't wear fucking flip-flops because I will step on that fucking toe. I'll break that big fucking toe and the bone that it's attached to before you even get up off your fucking foot. I will step on that motherfucking... And you have no idea what it feels like. You ever stub your toe in the middle of the night? Think of that 300 times when I break the socket with my fucking heel. So you want to keep being cute with your fucking sandals. That's why I don't wear sandals. I leave with Adidas, the fucking hard shell. I sleep with these motherfuckers. You understand me?
Adidas.
Shit. Old school.
Adidas.
We're ready for the fucking revolution. You always got to have one step ready for the revolution.
I don't trust sandals, man. I don't.
No. When you run, you fucking one flies off, and now you're like fucking, you know.
Even if you get in a fight and one come off, you lost.
And Joey Karate, listen, that's great. You ever get kicked with a foot, it hurts. You ever get kicked with an Adidas size 13, that hurts a lot fucking more. It was, you got me all fired up because I remember the mentality I went in there with. And I went in that with that same mentality because in my world at that age, I thought I was going to end up there anyway. I thought that was going to be my final stop. So I was waiting for a motherfucker to throw a fastball at me. And when I got in, I teamed up. When I got to my destination, I teamed up with an old mobster that was selling gambling things on Monday Night Football. And he said, I can't get to the blacks and the Latinos. I said, well, I speak Spanish, and I'm half black. I'm Cuban. It's the same shit. And guess what? He went from selling one card on Mondays to 3 cards.
They say he's running on the football pool.
On the football pool. But I got him running on everything. You know, in prison, you get motherfuckers gambling. If you build it, they'll come.
If you build it,
they'll come. And Uncle Joe, that's Uncle Joey's specialty at building bookie operations. You give me a couple days, I'll get some dice in this motherfucker. We'll put it, and that, listen, and I always try to say, I have always been, I'm racially insensitive, but my heroes, Julius Erving and Richard Pryor, straight through. Combined.
Man,
that's it.
on, man.
That's it. Julius Erving in my world.
Not a lot of people who say
No.
Julius Erving.
No.
Dr. J.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
How does anybody just skip him over when they say, "Oh, Jordan was better than him"? No, Jordan was more marketed than him. But how is he better than Julius Erving, man? Julius Erving got all his moves. Dr. J got all his moves. I mean, Jordan got all his moves from Dr. J, besides one. He could never do the move when he went behind the rim on the Lakers. He did this on the Lakers. When the Lakers,
Julius Erving.
Yes,
he
did this on
did.
the Lakers.
All his best moves were against the Lakers. The 3
man.
moves. The dunk in Philly.
That was on Cooper.
That was on Cooper.
Yeah.
I was at the game getting 1 point in Philadelphia. I was a college kid snorting coke, robbing jewelry stores, and I was down at Glassboro State. And if they scored 125 points to Sixers, you got a free hamburger. Man, if they scored 125 points on the way out, you took your ticket stub to a hamburger joint. They gave you a free hamburger, and we drove down there getting 1.5 points. I remember driving down, going, "This ain't right." They got Moses Malone. They're getting.
You know that's a friend of mine.
Who's that?
Moses Malone. That's a good friend of
You
mine.
send him my love. You tell Moses Malone when he played for the Houston Rockets in 1978, 79, I took a bus from North Bergen, New Jersey. I had to go all the way to New York City and switch. at Port Authority, and I went all the way to Piscataway. And I tell people this all the time, and I'm going to get smacked in the mouth for saying this, but I'm going to come out. If Moses Malone had played against Shaq, he would have taken Shaq and thrown him through the fucking rim. Moses Malone, when he played for Houston, check his numbers, Lee. It was 30 points a game and 24 rebounds a game. Listen, guys.
First player straight out of high school.
24 rebounds a game out of high school. They got discovered at 5-star basketball camp. He's from Tallahassee. No, that's Darryl Dawkins.
It's Darryl Dawkins.
That's Darryl Dawkins.
Moses Malone. We just lost a good friend. We got the funeral together. Moses Malone. Oh, my goodness, man. But Dr. J.
Dr. J. No, that bingo. I still remember coming home and getting a red, white, and blue ball. This is what America doesn't remember. This is what
ABA.
Basketball. And I'd put the red, white, and blue ball between my legs. I was too fat to have a number 32 jersey. Okay? This is when he was number 32. And him, Super John Williamson, the big cheeseburger that went up, Billy Pulse. He went on to play for San Antonio. And I used to watch Julius Erving. And once Julius Erving and Richard Pryor got a hold on me at the same time. When I came from Cuba, it was James Brown. But once Julius Erving added the class to my life. I would have still been a runaway fucking savage like Moses Malone. Because in the reality, Moses Malone is just a runaway savage.
I have his highlights if you want to watch it.
Go. Moses Malone is just a runaway savage. The best is when he played for the Sixers. And they got into a fight with Mark Ivoroni.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit. And he just grabbed Mark Ivoroni and whispered something in his ear, like, pick up your arm again and I'll break that motherfucker. And Ivoroni's like, I got no beef with nobody. I love Americans.
Moses Malone, man. This dude, I remember he had a brown Rolls Royce with a tan top. And it's like this guy, it's like.
Look at Julius right there with him. Oh, my God. Look at number 6 right there with him.
Yeah. Man, oh man, you know he's the originator. Like people don't even know they wear Air Force Ones. They don't know this who actually wore them. Like I know Kareem brought the shell toes out. You know he played in shell toes, but that's who played in Air Force Ones. Moses Malone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's Moses.
And that's a team right there, those Celtics, Jack. Look at that team right there. Put that back. Look, it's right there, right in front of you. Same motherfuckers. Look at that team. Look at that pot smoking motherfucker. What's his name?
The Chief.
Robert Parrish. They found him with a pound of
weed. Get that out of here.
Oh my God.
Look how huge he is. Look at Moses.
Oh my God. But you see that little guy in the back? That was Gus Williams. He just coasted by. The little wizard, and he had a brother. What was his name? Williams had a brother too. But the Seattle Seahawks had a dude named Downtown Freddie Brown.
Downtown Freddie Brown.
Oh shit.
Lee, you have no idea. And he was 6'11", Lee.
He is?
He was 6'11", and nobody knows that he created the dude from Africa. He took him under his wing and taught him all this shit.
Oh my God.
When he came to Houston.
When he came to Houston in the summer.
He caught a cab. To Houston. Because he said it was too cold where he was playing, and he came there to play soccer, and they saw him on the soccer field, and he was like, yo, what is he doing out there? What is Olajuwon doing out there? And Moses, man, when Moses took him on his wing and gave him everything, taught him every move that he had. And, man, Moses Malone, man, and then Moses is a good dude, man. Yo, Lee, man, Tony gone, brother. Yeah, because we had.
Where does he live? He lives in Houston.
He lives in Houston, man. We had a friend named Anthony Colbert. You know, I think Anthony Colbert merged us together because he did the same thing when that was the first person Moses met when he got to Houston, and he was from Oklahoma. Tony was from Oklahoma, so he just stuck with Mo the whole time and took Mo around. And him and Tony they've been friends ever since. He went to his funeral in Oklahoma, and he went to his memorial service in Houston. And the same thing that Anthony Colbert did for me. When I first started doing comedy, you know, you always need somebody to try to help you. And that was the first person who, you know, got me headshots. If I needed to travel somewhere, he would loan me the money because he knew I would just give it back to him. And he just really helped my career as just a person. Even when I used to get struggling through something, I would go in his office and be going off, and he would just sit there and listen. And then as soon as he finished, he'd give me a story that has nothing to do with what I just finished talking about. But it was like, yeah, and then he told me this story. He said he asked Moses one time, could he play ball with him? And Moses told him no. He said, hey, man, we friends. Why you won't play basketball with me? He said, because all you can do is hurt my game. You can't do anything for my game, so I won't play you. I only play people who could elevate my game. And then that taught me only be around comics who can elevate your game.
Always.
On whatever aspect. Just be around some people who have something else to offer than what you have. Don't hang with the other guys. You have to elevate. And I took a lot from Tony and being there at the funeral, and me and Moses was both there, and we was like, Moses was like, yo, man, we gonna miss him. And these are two different ends of the spectrum, 2 different years of people who he meant a lot to. And so that's how me and Moses are super connected. And he just a good person. He got into a fight one time, a big argument. Let me not call it a fight, a big argument at a comedy club where I was performing. He came to see me, and him and his lady got into an argument in the front. And I say, yo, who arguing at my show? And I look up, it's Moses. He was like, brother, my bad, brother. He was like, man. Julius Serving, man.
You see Moses, you say, I met the biggest Cuban fan ever. He took a bus 3 hours, got in trouble, got punished because we didn't get back till 2 a.m. The bus stopped in New York and sat there for an hour. Then it took you over the tunnel. But I went to see Moses when he was a Houston Rocket. And when I found out he became a Sixer, I knew in my heart. I could lie to you about a lot of shit. I knew in my heart, they're going to win the championship. It's just too much. That's all they needed. They got rid of the guy that shot with the one arm, George McGinnis.
McGinnis.
They also had, what's his name's father, Joe Jelly Bean Bryant. Shit.
What year?
This is 82, 83.
Yeah, when they won.
They got Moses in 83, and they immediately won. In fact, they swept. That's how decidedly I was not wrong. I knew that they would fucking fo. Yeah. That was the big thing.
You want the roster?
Yeah.
J.J. Anderson, Maurice Cheeks, Earl Kirsten, Franklin Edwards, Julius Irving, Mark Ivaroni, Cleveland Johnson, Reggie Johnson, Bobby Jones, Moses Malone, Mark McNamara, Clint Richardson, Russ Guion, and Andrew Toney.
And all they needed was Irvin, Cheeks, and Moses.
Andrew Toney could shoot the ball in the dark. You know that?
3-point shooter?
Andrew Toney could shoot the ball in the fucking dark. You have no idea how big. And then they got it. I mean, they were a great team. I was with the Sixers when they had Doug Collins, when they fought against Fucko down in Florida from Tallahassee. Not Moses. Daryl Dawkins. Dawkins and Maurice Lucas fought in the middle of the fucking thing.
Chocolate Thunder.
I'm in the 8th grade cheering for fun. There was a dude behind my house, Jimmy something, and he got hit in the head with a brick, and all of a sudden he became a psychic. And you'd ask him, who's going to win the game tonight? I had like $50. And I asked him, like, who's going to win the series? He says, the Sixers 4-2. 4 games to 2. I'm like, fucking, I'm betting. I bet like $200. I was like in the fucking 8th grade. I was half retarded. When the fucking Sixers lost, I went over there and I go, Jimmy, what the fuck? The Sixers lost. He goes, my psychic ability was off that day. He goes, no. He goes, I meant to say the wrong, because Portland beat them 4-2. But Julius Irving against the Portland Trail Blazers had a slam dunk in the face of Bill Walton. When Julius Irving, when it came to realization, he was not. Do you remember this? When he came to the he had 2 great slam dunks against the Portland Trail Blazers. But when Julius Irving came to the realization, put it on, Julius Irving's top 10 dunks, he came to the realization that he was going to lose to the Portland Trail Blazers. He took the ball 3 quarters down the court, Lee, and he slammed it so hard in Bill Walton's face. I'm talking about in his fucking face, that Bill Walton was calling for an offensive fucking foul. It was horrid. All right, right there. And you hear the music is tremendous to this, if this is the same one. All right, watch this fucking dunk right here. Okay, this is nothing.
Man, I can't believe that
All right, this is just a regular one. They're just getting warmed up. This is Tremont against the Lakers. Oh, shit!
On
Lee,
Kareem.
watch this. Learn something.
On
Watch.
Kareem.
Look at him, Lee. Look at him. Underneath and against a tremendous team. Watch this one, Lee. Here we go. Awa. Baya. Baya. Look at this guy, Lee. Look at
Why you jumping?
Why you even bought? Look at this one, Lee. Look at this one, Lee. Again against the Lakers. Boom.
Oh my God.
Look at this one, Lee, against the Lakers. Look how high. Oh, bam.
That's better than the Jordan one.
Watch this one. Boom. That one's a men's one. Now they're going to throw the heaters at you. All right, this is a good one. The Celtics. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ. And that's Cowan, too. That ain't no fucking walk in the park. That dude was 6'8", Collins, Lee, and he was the center.
Man,
Look at him. Look at this one.
How long he is?
But look at this one, Lee. Here we go, Lee. This is the first one. Look at this one. Walton. Look at Walton coming in. Watch Walton coming in. Watch this, Lee. Oh, my. Look at him call for offensive foul. See? He's calling for an offensive foul. Look at it against Bobby Gross. Boom! Are you fucking kidding me, Lee? Look at this. You're at home at your mother's house. Your head would fucking explode. And here's the one. Here's the one getting the 3-point. Getting the point and a half, Lee. Rocking the cradle. Rocking the cradle. Rocking the cradle.
And he had nobody
Look
to
at
watch.
him. Look at him. Look.
It's still amazing.
Lee, nothing but class. You understand me? Nothing but fucking class, Julius Erving. Listen, guys, I don't have no reason to lie to nobody. From 80 to 84, the only thing that kept me alive was Julius Erving. I would go to the games. I would yell. I would go to the games and stand under the basket and go, Doc, I got you big. I'll never forget against the Nets. He had to cover Albert King. And they would give him 4 points. And the fucking Nets beat him at home. I used to go to see the Sixers against the Knicks on Christmas motherfucking Day. That's how lucky I was. I was
very lucky.
You have no idea. So for me to watch basketball now, I just
it's like it's cool, but when you watch Julius Erving, when you watch Iceman, you know George Gervin was
smooth,
silk,
6'7", 6'8", really, because they lied.
Because San Antonio would score 150 points on you. Yeah, they would score. Seattle would score 150 points on you.
You think I'm kidding you, though?
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about these people. Denver would score 150 points
Please
on you.
show America downtown Freddie Brown. Just show America. See, this is a chubby little dude that sat at the end of the bench with a brown bag, drinking a couple beers, and he tell the coach, listen, I don't know nothing about salary caps. I don't know nothing. I got a little house. I got this little skinny sister. She's banging. I just want to eat and drink and score like maybe 12 points a game. I'll come in. I'll shoot 6 times. I'll get 12 points on a motherfucker. Right? This guy was tremendous. Look at him. Like, he had a little body. No, but see if they find one of his videos. And he would sit at the end, and they put him in like with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. He'd always relieve somebody. Like, who? Look, Freddie
Do you want to
Brown.
see him talking or him playing?
Playing. I want to see talking. What do I want to see talking for? Right here. Let him do the talk. Look at him. Look, this is crazy. This guy could fucking destroy you. This is why they were scoring 150 points, Lee. Bam! And look at his body.
He's a little guy.
He's a little guy.
Oh, shit.
There's downtown. Look at him. Shaking him. One hand. Pop. Bam! Lee. It was automatic when he got the ball. And he would tell the coach, I don't want to do much. I don't really want to play defense. I just want to listen. Right here. There you go. Boom. There you go, Lee. Popping him one-handed. Look at the net, Lee. Look what they did to the fucking net.
See, the thing is, that's why he's like, Steph Curry's the best shooter ever. Nah, there was some people that was out there that was silk, man.
Watch this guy. Wow, this is craziness, Lee, how this guy played the game. And he wasn't a starter.
Jumper? Pop.
Look at that. We just saw him throw in 3 shots in a row, and that's what he would do, and that's it. That's it. That's all they needed him for. Yeah, 10 seconds. Go ahead, give it to him. Look at him, Lee. Look at him. There he is, Lee.
And they weren't even covering him.
No, they knew. You could put 8 guys on him. It don't matter. It don't matter. You got to guard everybody else. Look at that one. Look at that one. Lee, it was all poppers. And he didn't start shooting. Remember, they caught the three-pointers at later his career. They knew he would kill that. They're like, we can't give it to a little chubby black dude. Look at him. Look at him. Look at the net. Any side of the fucking floor. They don't do that no more. All right, so now when do you get released?
Got released October 21st, 1997. And then I actually got really released 2007, October 21st.
Okay, so
Yeah, parole.
October 7th, you go move back with who? Mom, uncle?
I actually moved. I went to Houston with $100. Had no really place to go, no place to stay. So I went to my mom's house, and I knew I wasn't gonna be there for very long. I was like, "Yo, 2 weeks tops. I'm out of here." And I went to a man's apparel store. I had no clothes, so and I went to this store. It was called Mosa at the time, and this dude named Reggie Ballard was the manager. And I went, and he's like, "Yo, we not hiring." So I went the next day. He's like, "Yo, we not hiring." Then I went Friday. He said, "Yo, man, I told you we're not hiring." I'm like, "Cool." So then I show up Saturday. The place is busy. And so the place is busy. I'm just sitting in there looking, inconspicuous. This dude's like, yo, can you go to the back? Because it looked like I was working there. Could you go to the back and get me some mock necks? I was like, didn't know what a mock neck, turtleneck was at the time. So I just went to the back and I'm like, yo, what are mock necks? And so the dude's like right over there. So I took some to the front, and then I just ended up working the whole day. And then Reggie was like, yo, we had a great day. You guys was on fire. And he looks at me and say, man, didn't I tell you we wasn't hiring? I'm like, yeah, that's what you said, but I've been here all day, working. So he told me to come back Sunday. I was a top salesperson there for like 2 years. And then it was another place called the Sunglass Hut. I worked in the Mosa and the Sunglass Hut in the same mall, Sharpstown Mall in Houston. And I started doing stand-up at this place called Just Joking Comedy Cafe in Houston on Richmond.
With Willie Vial?
Yeah, Juan Villarreal and Honest Jay was the host for a while, and Bruce was the host for a while, and Tony Scofield and all these guys, Jamario. I just going, and it was a Apollo night that I went, and I had a phobia about Earthquake for a long time, performing with Earthquake, because the first time I ever went up, that's when I learned very, very good lesson about your audience, who you're in front of. So it's college night. It's the night that I'm going. They let all the amateur people up. I have on a suit because I worked at a men's apparel store. But college kids are just in there with what college kids wear. I walk on stage and they immediately start booing me because I had on a suit. And as I'm getting booed, Earthquake walks in, and I'm like, yo, I just got booed in front of Earthquake. So I waited like 2 weeks, and I came back with some jeans on and a T-shirt. Walk in. I didn't say what I was going to do. I just put my name on the list. And I went up, and a month later, I was the host of the Apollo night for like a year and a half. And then they tried to pay me $35 one night with a super packed house and said, hey, wasn't no people in here. And then I left. And then ever since then, I just always had a room in Houston where I could go and work on my craft and whatever. So for a lot of times, Earthquake would walk into place, and I'd be like, I'm not going to do good because Earthquake's here. And then finally, we started working together. I worked on a couple shows with him. But yeah, that's why I started, man. But it's once again, learning from taking something from prison, knowing your audience, knowing where you at, and then adjusting. That's the start of me.
When you went to your mom's house, was stand-up in your mind, or was it on the horizon?
It was on the horizon.
Like me, it was on the horizon. When I walked out of it, I was like, it's going to be a tough sell. I couldn't sell it to myself at that time. I didn't know the basics, and I kept dabbing with it, like just watching movies, watching specials.
Well, when you get out of prison, don't you have to get a job? So don't you need to have something more
Well, I
than?
went right to a halfway house because I got reconsidered to community corrections. They elongated my sentence to string me out.
Yeah, I got sent to like a little pre-release unit, and man, I got in trouble there, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
couldn't
tough.
believe
It's
it.
very tough. Very tough.
But I knew why I got in trouble, and something. Oh man, you develop. This is what, and maybe it was just me. Maybe you did as well. I developed a different appreciation for women in prison. It doesn't matter to me what you look like anymore, because in prison, it's like this. The old female guards used to wear their pants tight as they could possibly get them, and it just, oh man, as you only around men, you start looking at this older woman like her face is all wrinkled. She's a guard, but something about her body is like, I think this is hot. So, so then I'm at a pre-release, man. I'm about to get out. Like, I know I like 6 months, and there was this little female guard. She had to be maybe like 60. But she still had this cute little bubbly shape, and she was a lot like she worked in a law library, and her pants used to be so super tight. You could see everything, and I couldn't take it. I just wrote her a letter one time. I was like, and I was locked up in prison and never did that. But I was like, yo, man, I had on free world clothes. You couldn't. It was too much, man. I tried to talk to that lady. I was like, yo, man, I'm sick, and still to this day I see older white women, because that's all that really worked, because you're in these small country towns, and it's like you see these women, and you like, yo, man, this is crazy. Why do I develop? Like, I wouldn't work at an old folks home. I'd probably get in trouble there. I don't know what I don't know what I would do. Like, yo, I need to bathe your mom again. I don't know what it would do, man.
The first pre-release I went to was possibly one of the craziest situations I lived in. Like, I wasn't there a week already, and I was selling blow.
Yeah.
I was lending money out because I got a job right away. I got a job selling cars right away, and I asked for a fucking $500 fucking to get me going. And then somebody said, dog, there's a bunch of people here that you lend them $75. They don't, because you had to pay your rent on Thursday. The system knows how to fuck a motherfucker. You got to pay your rent on Thursday, but 90% of people don't get paid till Friday. So I developed a little gig lending out 75 for 102. I don't even know what the numbers were about. But people lined up, and I was making $25 a head, $27 a head, and they'd pay me no problem. I went nuts. The chicks were hot in there. The guards were hot, but nobody. There was a white, tall, skinny chick that one day came in, and I was weighing coke, and I put it in the ceiling. And when I went to get the coke, you know how you put it in like a bindle?
Yeah.
It opened, and all the coke went all over the floor. And she came in, she goes, what's all this stuff? And we're like, it's falling off the ceiling. She goes, you guys got to get a vacuum. I'm going to write you up. Write us up for fucking. She thought it was spackle from the roof. It was like a roof like this, like a ceiling.
Yeah.
It was really coke rocks and shit that fell out of it. If she would have bent over and tasted one of those things, then we would have fucked her.
Yeah.
We would have. But no, dog, I went into the halfway, I started slinging a little coke, and there was a little white chick named Patrice from Michigan, real cute and shit. And she always had a boyfriend who was locked up. Him and her got locked up together type deal. But we talk, we get meals and talk and shit. And at that pre-release, you paid $50 a day for groceries, and they gave you a bag of TV dinners, burritos, frozen orange juice. They gave you just the worst food in the fucking world. Mozzarella sticks, white bread that was old and shit, cold cuts and a fucking thing. So I started bringing in my own food, but they would search you. If you had more than $40, you go to jail.
Yep.
You had to hide your money outside or had to hide it in the car because they know that you're planning something. Why you got more than 40 cash? They want to know your bank accounts. It was crazy, Lee. It was fucking crazy. And I started selling a little coke in there. I found, and all of a sudden I get there one night, and when I go to sign in, there's a note that people could leave your notes. And there was a note from Patrice. And she goes, come to my room. So I went to her room. I knocked. What time you got to get out of here? 3:30?
No, I was just making sure
Oh,
they
right. Yeah, 3:30, we'll get you out of here. And I knocked on her room, and all of a sudden she opened the door with not a bikini on, but with a see-through thing that was naked underneath. And right at the doorway, I just popped the Cuban egg roll out. She dropped. I squeezed her titties
Oh.
while she gave me a little sucky, and that was it. I moved, and that's when it really went off and popping in there, because that's when I realized the lady Invicts were fucking the Invicts. The first floor had the women. The women were upstairs. They'd kill those bitches upstairs. The women were on the first floor, and the men were on the second and third floor, Lee. So if anything had happened with a woman, they'd catch you. But there was a TV room, and the woman, and that's how you got hand jobs from the chick, and then you could both sign out to 7-Eleven and make out with her and suck her titties. It was fucking craziness, man.
Man, your halfway house was way better than mine. We was in a pre-release, so they still had all these dudes, and you could have free world clothes, but you couldn't have money. They would make you put only money on your books, but the female officers that they worked there, they knew you was getting out. They knew you. Hey, 6 months tops. This person's on the street. I watched this lady come pick a dude up. She quit and picked the dude up at the gate, and man. Go ahead.
What happened with the two people who escaped in Pennsylvania or whatever that was? Like, did you guys ever hear about that? Like, guards smuggling stuff in, even if it's not a woman or.
Well, on the inside, when you're in that level, you're always gonna find one motherfucker that's getting something from a guard. Listen, those motherfuckers make a certain amount of money. If you got paper, if you're locked up and you got paper, I tell a story, man. One of my best friends locked up was a Crip. I'm not associated with gangs. He was just a Crip. You know what? He loved me and I love him. But what I loved about him was on Sunday nights, he had 7 visits. He had 7 women, dog. Ali, he had 7 women on the outside. He had them all in cars. They all had his kids. They all got a stipend because homie was fucking banked up at 25. We were both the same age. But on Sunday nights, we'd put our foods together for the week. And he had all his peeps and them Nutter Butters. Dog, and me and him would put on the album at the time. See, because every time period, like the album at the time when I was locked up, the big album for white people was Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, but for black people was Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel.
Don't Be Cruel.
So every time Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel came on, so on Tuesday nights was domino gambling night for the brothers in the laundromat, and they'd just be playing dominoes. But once the beginning of Don't Be Cruel came on, and they'd start little snapping. Oh my God, Lee. And they'd smuggle shit in there. Like the white dude that I worked with, Ron, would take a pot and put cheese in it, government cheese with an iron, what you take from an iron. He'd melt that motherfucker and he'd throw jalapenos in that bitch and onions.
So y'all doing a spread.
This motherfucker wasn't Ron would cater to Tuesday night gambling night. And he made nachos for them. He would make fucking some type of burrito.
It's the soup spread. It's cold spread and hot spreads. Oh, I'm sitting there. Look, you. I've been listening to you for the last 2 seconds, but I really haven't been because you said Nutty Buddies.
Nutter Butters.
Man, let me tell you
Joey
something.
still eats them.
Dog, they're the best thing in the world. I thank Torrey Piles.
Chocolate bar with the listen to me.
Dog, people go
We
crazy.
had a sandwich that we used to make with these. So you take the Nutty Butters and you take a honey bun and you put peanut butter on both sides.
Jesus
and
Christ!
You stack the Nutty Butters on both sides. Do you understand how serious this is?
Oh my God, I'm becoming diabetic.
It's like I really
You
don't.
have no idea, Lee.
I really don't like going back there, but this will take me to a whole
That sounds
another
amazing.
place. You don't understand
You don't
how
understand how
good
good this is, Lee.
And you gotta lay the flat part of the Nutty Buddy lay the flat part of Nutty Buddy on the peanut butter with.
Wait,
with,
is it two? Is it like a
you have-
sandwich of sticky buns or is
you
it
have to
one
get
sticky bun?
One sticky bun.
One sticky bun.
One sticky bun on peanut butter on both. You got to make it right. You got to put you got listen. You got to put the Nutty Buddy down. Then you got to spread the peanut butter on your honey bun. Flip
Right.
that down and then put peanut butter on the other side and then put 2 more Nutty Butters on the side. And then if you got friends, you cut it up for your friends, but you want it by yourself. Oh my goodness. I'm losing it right now because that was like the
That's huge,
ultimate.
Lee. That's why I tell you, Lee, that simplicity sometimes, when you've been locked up, it's the simple pleasures like that that makes you go back home.
Were you guys smoking weed in there?
No. No.
That's
no.
that's
Oh
a
my
hard
God,
that's a
that's-
hard thing.
No,
That's like the highest.
We were doing acid because they couldn't test you
Yeah,
for
they couldn't
acid.
test for acid,
So
but
I was doing acid.
then they was drinking a lot of hooch in there.
I didn't like the hooch.
I had a dude named Berto. That's all he used to drink was the hooch. He would make it himself, just for himself, and we always knew when he was drunk, because he would bust out of his cell with just his like 2 pair of boxers on his boots, and he'd just come out, "Who want to fight with me?" But everybody knew that he was like a boxer. And so like, Berto, nobody want to fight with you, man. No, I was in my cell, and somebody said, "Ding ding." Berto drunk. He's drunk, man. It's like him and this like dude named Roger Rabbit was like the dudes. Roger Rabbit had 2 goals in the front, and it had 2 R's, and he was hilarious, and you would always know when he would get into a fight because he would do a Public Enemy song. You would it was like, what was his line was, "I'm in the air, you on the ground, it's me." That's when I knew he was getting into a fight. You would hear him. You would be going somewhere and you would hear, "I'm in the air, you on the," and then you know somebody's probably knocked out because in his mind that's why you on the ground.
The 2 head chefs in the kitchen. One was a brother named Graveyard. Okay. Because he puts you
Roger Rabbit.
because he
What
put
the
you in the
fuck?
graveyard and shit. And then the other guy was Chicken Hawk. And his real name was Spencer Antoine. And I loved him he schooled me in a lot of ways. But there was another guy named Etchy, a skinny little brother. The first, like he was the original. Who replaced who on Friday? In fact,
Day.
In fact, he was the original Chris Tucker. And he used to go, "Cuba, watch this." And he'd come into a room, take his little thing and go, "Freeze, everybody down." And his voice, it was like and he goes, "That's what I did for years. I was the voice man. People paid me, made me a partner just to be the voice man and say freeze. And people would actually go under. And those are the people that made your time easier. I had this white dude that wasn't yoked up, had a couple tats. But all the other white dudes I would see that would stay clear of this dude. This dude was no joke from Philadelphia. His name was John Clark. And on he would get, that's why I took the stock clerk job, because my visitations were Monday and Tuesday. So I was in that room alone. I could eat some ass. I could finger you. She could bring Chinese food. If you get your visitations on Saturdays and Sundays, you don't get that. You're in a fucking table with kids crying next to you and people changing diapers. It's horrible.
Horrible.
John Clark used to get his visit on Monday so the chick could make out with him and give him speed. And he would swallow the speed, and by Wednesday, sometimes he'd just keep it in his chin and take the big envelope down. But Mondays, he'd get his thing, and he'd come to my fucking room, and we'd chop it up, and he'd give me a line of meth, and we'd go to the high school to play basketball. They shipped us over on a bus. I thought my heart was going to fucking blow up. And I go back to my room and say, I can't believe I'm in prison. And I'm still living like I was living on the outside. Every day's an adventure. Like I was the stock clerk, so I had steroids and drugs in the stock room that was off the thing. They never brought the dogs up there.
Yeah, I was fire safety clerk.
Okay.
I was a fire safety clerk. You in the front office, and you had access to probably everything. I used to sit in a little room, and I used to try to make out with this teacher all the time. 'Cause you up front, and the teachers were like right over there, but you spend so much time with them because you by yourself basically. Scarborough, the officer that was supposed to be over me, the fire and safety man, his name was Scarborough, but he was never there. He was like, I was like on my own. And going back to what he said about having fun, a story just came in my head. A guy named Wynn, he was from Vegas, man. He was a real big dude. He was Italian and black, real big dude. We used to, man, because a lot of times you can't get to sleep, and you just be sitting there, and I would hear this dude just out of nowhere, "Yo, Wynn." And he was like, "What's up, man?" "Man, we can't sleep, man." And Wynn was like, "All right." And I never even heard these songs before. I thought they was him. And then he would tell me, "Nah, that's the Walls album." He was just out of nowhere. "Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody in there?" And I knew the whole song from him. Like, I never heard the original song. He would sing the whole Walls album. whatever, Dark Side of the Moon or whatever it was.
The Wall, the
Yeah.
whole thing. It was 4 album sides.
It was like he knew all the songs. By like song number 7, I'm knocked out. But that's when it's like, and Win was so hilarious. He was a big dude. You could lift, and then it was a dude named Brown, which was a huge black dude that came off of lockup. And Brown used to be in solitary, but he used to rattle his door so hard that you could hear it. If you was in G-pop, you could hear it, and they was like, "Yo, that's Brown acting up again," because they wouldn't give him something. This is the first person I ever seen. You know they had this thing called Jack Mac. It's like mackerel in a can. He was the first person I ever seen open the can, drink the juice, and just take it out the can and put it on 2 pieces of bread and just eat it with the bones, the skin, everything. He was an animal. We're watching I know it was the NAACP Awards. Never forget it. Tank full of people watching the NAACP Awards. Win and Brown walks in and cuts the TV off right in the middle and say, "Yo, y'all about to be the judges of this bodybuilding contest." And I said, "What?" He said, "Lee, don't play. I'll choke you today. I'm not playing with you. You the judge. You the master of ceremonies." And I'm like, this is stupid, man. And 2 huge dudes are on the top of the table with just their underwear on. And I'm like, the whole audience, the rest of the tank is doing this, and I'm doing like this. Back, lax. It's like I gotta tell them which position to go in. And it's hilarious once I think back on it. But it's like they held the whole room hostage for us to watch them bodybuild. And we just sitting there like, and I said this, Brown got so mad at me. I said, "Hey, Win's back is bigger than yours." You crazy. I got the biggest back on this unit. I'm like, this is hilarious. I say, "Win, Brown's legs are bigger than yours." He's like, "Yo, man." So I'm watching 2 dudes walk back out, and they went right back to the rec yard. Right back to working out. I'm like, this is insane. But that was another good day.
And you live on certain protein. There's guys in there that bodybuild, but the weirdest thing here is the correlation that you went to prison for doing something bad, and you really got something good out of it. You never recidivism. There was no rape. There was no rape with me. I got arrested again in Seattle for an assault and shit like that, but I didn't get arrested for kidnapping or trying to take drug dealers down anymore. I mean, what are the fucking chances, bro? What are the chances of just staying out of jail? Never mind. Talking to you right now has helped me a lot, because sometimes, just when I walked in here thinking I saw you, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, this guy had the same situation I had, 2 different parts of the world, that anything could have happened, because once you go in, they got you. Yeah. You and I both know they fucking got you, man.
That's the scary. I think
that's the scary part.
What do you mean by that?
You there, and you're not going anywhere, and you at the mercy of somebody else's. And a lot of these people are friends or family members, the officers that work at these prisons with you, and this is when you talk about nerve. This was the only thing that was scary to me in prison, realistically. That one, it's not promised that I get out of here, and that somebody could kill me in here and my family not know, because I'm so far away from my family, and I'm talking about an officer, you know.
Yeah, and they can make up any story. He had a
story.
Shave, whatever, just for protecting yourself, just for saying "fuck you," I'm not doing it. He might hit you with a stick. You might hit him back with a stick. Another officer comes in, shoots you in the fucking head. And there you go for something you didn't really do. You were just sticking up for yourself.
Yeah, and that's the thing that gets to you. That one moment that you think, man, somebody could kill me in here. The officer, the administration could kill me. And what would be the story? You know, what could happen? When would my family find out? When they write, and I don't return a letter, when they come to visit and they say, "Well, I'm not here," or they ship me somewhere else. It's thousands of things that could have happened with the administration that didn't, by the grace, because I know it was people that was there with me, that went in with me, that did not make it out. You know, whether you in a riot, I was in a riot, a lot of riots, and they leave you on the ground for a while. They don't know if you stabbed or what's the situation. They just left you on the ground, and they processing people in at a time. So a lot of times the black guys were the last ones to go in. They would get the white guys first, then the Spanish guys, then they would bring the black guys in. After you done got tear gassed and all the rest of this, you don't know what's going on. So it's those moments in there that you think about, you know, in hindsight. But while you was in there, it comes across like, yo, man, it was a blessing that I made it out of there. And the only other thing that I did that was a good thing that was in there. If you were my age, you was in my age group, like anywhere from 18 to 25, you was in my age group, it was like a mandate that you had to go to school. If you didn't have any type of GED, no type of diploma, you know, I would come talk to you. I'm like, yo, what's your plan when you get out of here? It would be best that you go to school while you here. Well, I don't want to go to school. And I'm like, nah, this is really not a conversation like you think. It's not that type of conversation. And this is kind of more of like an order. Well, who are you to order me? Well, if you don't go to school, you a C. Because it was broken down. I was considered what they call a convict, a vet, because even though I was young, because of the unit that I went to, and it was all lifers a lot of times. So I learned from them how to conduct myself in this environment with what my uncles taught me, and then the environment of being in there with them.
When did your uncles teach you that? Was it like
Growing up? This is the crazy thing. This, you know, uncles are strange beings. Your father be like, yo, you'll never do this, you never do it. But your uncle sees something different in you all the time, and then he start giving you tidbits of what to do in life. Like, my uncle was the first person that ever told me, hey man, if you can't beat them, you pick something up and you put it in their head. You bust them in the head with it. My father was like, yo, you know, you fight. But my mom she reinforced what my uncle said. Like, yo, she 4'11". My mom's 4'11", and you will never be bullied. That's what my mom off the rip. You understand me? You will never be bullied by anybody. I could get in a fight, some kids would jump on me. My mom, we going back down there. And you're going to fight each one of them kids one-on-one while I'm standing here, because they not going to jump on you. And if anybody does jump on you, I got my hand in my purse, and you know what that means. So we going from there. But I used to be embarrassed about walking the fights with my sister and my mom. But this is one of the most brutal women you could ever possibly come across. Like, yo, you got it twisted. You think you're going to bully my son.
My mom walked me to a couple fights. One in particular where she fucking threatened the shit out of me. Let me give some shout-outs here, and we'll get you the hell out of here. Listen, man, 300 episodes. It's all because of you guys. So I'm giving all you motherfuckers a shout-out. I love you guys to death. Thank you for keeping us alive. Paul Lynch, Freddie Correa, Diana Mateo, Delusional Thomas, Dead Squad Nashville, Danny Cheeseburger, Jesse Wright, Gomez and Escondido, Anarchy Edibles, and Raymond Mandy. I love all you motherfuckers. If I didn't mention you, it's because there's too many of you cocksuckers that I love, all right?
It sounds like a mob lineup.
And I'm telling you, I got these people here that fucking
sounds like the
people.
prison names?
It sounds like everybody who still runs bookings somewhere. Like, yo, like they run horse races. Tony Montana.
Delusional Thomas, Diana Mateo. Now you got to give these people love, man.
I still have
They've
more
kept
time.
the motherfucking lights on, and
I got 30 more minutes. I still got more time.
oh no, I got a pee though real quick.
Yeah.
I was gonna do something here. I don't fucking know. I gotta pee real quick though. Jesus Christ. You know, you try to lose some weight and be healthy, but then you gotta pee every fucking 18 minutes. You drink water, you think everything's Jesus Christ.
So where are you gonna be, Ellie?
Oh, I'm gonna be at the Brea Improv tonight, and then headed back on the road. Me and Bill Bellamy will be in at the Arlington Improv, and this is a great thing, man. I'm happy to do all these podcasts, especially anything that Ari suggested I do.
Well, after you were on his podcast, like listening, just especially when you hear prison, just because it's so foreign to like most people, like him and Joey would be good together, but you don't want to have it be too close, like too right next to each other. But I don't know how long he's been talking to you for, but ever since the show and he's blown up, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's been a good thing. Like this about prison is a lot less intense than me and Ari's, and we've both been there, so it's like going to a different place of the fun and the other things that could happen in there. It's like, man, the Nutty Butter thing, when he mentioned it just paused me. Like I didn't even hear anything else. I just like, yo,
how often would you do that?
Man, like as much as you could. It was like
Jesus Christ.
That's like the creme. That's like a creme brulee.
People need to do
prison.
that and like put pictures up and tag all of us because that sounds delicious.
Yo, man, anybody, if you understand the dynamics of this sugar protein rush, it's peanut butter, a cinnamon, any type of cinnamon roll you want, any type of honey bun.
I like the honey buns.
The honey bun.
Oh, delicious.
It's like it just puts you in a moment in time in prison that you know that you like when I know some guys who drank coffee with Kool-Aid in it and peppermints, they would call it a pretty and all that. But you would be so amped up after you drank one of these. It was like you got this Kool-Aid pack, you got like 4 scoops of coffee, and then a peppermint, and it's like mud, and you just drink that, and you eating this creme, this a creme brulee. This is like a creme brulee in prison. This Nutty Butter with this peanut butter in a honey bun, eating that, and you feel like, yo, man, life is okay right now. And then somebody gets stabbed, and you be like, all right, cool, I'm back to reality. But I never even, like, I don't drink coffee now. Like, I despise coffee. But
you don't want to go to Starbucks, go to the bathroom, jerk off. They got you on tape. All these Starbucks, these dirty white people got cameras in all these Starbucks. You go into a Starbucks, take a shit, you're on a Go Now TV and somewhere fucking on a plane.
Man.
Here's the fucking crazy thing for me that I realized a long time ago. Listen, man, I hate working Sundays. Like, I fucking hate it. When I was a young comic, I did it. But one day I said, I'm not doing it no more. I like Sundays at home. I grew up watching Omaha and Disney and all that shit, and it just means something. You don't have a family, you get one, and you hang out with them on Sundays. And I didn't have visitation on Sunday. Everybody else used to have visitation on Sunday. And that was the first season of either America's Most Wanted or Married with Children. Okay. 87. And me and this kid. And again, he was a fucking crip. He was cripping all the way through that motherfucker. But me and him would sit in his room, or we'd go to the AIDS unit with the Nutter Butters, and we'd pull out a chair, and we'd put our feet up, and we'd eat Nutter Butters and dip it in milk, and I'd have a Coke on the side.
Oh.
And the pain went away, the doubt in your mind, just for that night.
Perfect.
It was a Sunday night with my friend, and sometimes Anthony Severino would come in from Cleveland and sit with us. And I don't care how old I get to be, I'll never forget those times. You know, you said that story about emceeing a bodybuilding competition. I've said this story 1,000 times. I used to, on the second and fourth Thursday of the month was film night. And you got they'd pass the thing around in the cafeteria, and you had to mark it by the end of the day what 3 films you want. And they put 2 fucking films on. But in those days, I don't even think it was VHS.
It's like beta.
It was something crazy. But the machine ate the fucking tape, or it did something fucking crazy, and it would bust. And one day the guys were goofing because I would sit in the kitchen while they were serving the food and watch, and I would tell the people that were my friends what and what not to eat. So there was some black people I helped out and some white dudes I'd help out, and I go, don't eat the shit on shingles, you know, the corned beef on chip, whatever the fuck that is. You know, it's beef with cream on fucking bread that's horribly horrid. You know, but there was some stuff that was good. Where I was at, there was a pistachio pudding. Oh my fucking God, to die for. I would trade everything. The meatloaf was sensational. The turkey on fucking Thursday, sensational. The black dude that made the lasagna on Wednesday, fucking off the chain. You understand me? That you would stab a motherfucker for lasagna, and they would give you like a 6-ounce military style piece. There was certain shit that till today I eat because of prison, especially pistachio anything. Like I ate pistachios when I was locked up, but I never had pistachio pudding like a kid. Once I tasted pistachio fucking pudding, I thought my head was gonna blow up. I loved it.
Is it what is it? Do you have things like this? Like, it's certain things about prison, like the respect level of how people respected each other mostly. You really wouldn't be disrespected by some main dude. He was like, yo, it would be in the meetings. I miss the meetings a lot of times. When something would happen, I miss the whole covert operation of the head of this gang and the head of this gang and my gang and everybody else getting together, and it's only the elite cats in this meeting, and we trying to see. And this is a real meeting because this is going to mess up the prison. When you having a discussion, so this guy stole this, and we gotta rectify this, and you talking to all of the Mexicans like, yo, we gonna riot tomorrow if this doesn't happen. And you really making a decision on if the person lives or dies, on how this goes. And I'll never forget, this guy stole this guy's radio, and we sent down a mandate that the people that over that guy, y'all need to go in and y'all need to handle that. And as we stood, the Mexican gang stood to the side as they went and handled it. My crew stood to the side, and he came out of his cell like they were wrestling or something. And the Mexican gang just walked off. And I said, wait, we'll handle it. And our guys went up, and then the dude ended up having staples put in his head. Because what you would rather risk a Spanish and black riot over a radio, that's what you guys would rather risk. And then we serviced the other two guys you can't do a fake discipline in prison. There's no fake disciplines. Either you gonna discipline this party so he'll understand, or you can cause a whole uproar. And I don't want to get up, and I don't want to be on guard all the time in this place. So these meetings and these different things that would be happening in prison, that I kind of miss it sometimes, but I miss more of food that I can't. It's not the same. Peanut butter on pancakes is not the same in the free world. It's like I don't even have access to that type of peanut butter or something.
I never ate a sardine again. I ate more mustard sardines when I was in prison.
I ate a lot
white
of
crackers because I was getting the protein and trying to build muscle. I would eat the fucking mustard sardines till they came out of my eyeballs. You understand me?
Yeah.
Once I stepped out the electric,
Never touched them.
Never touched the fucking sardine again. But when I see them in supermarkets, I stop and I fucking giggle a little bit.
And you think about
Just to myself, and I don't tell nobody what I'm giggling about. It's just my little fucking thing. When I see mustard sardines, it was, man, we both gained the same insight from it. It was a fucking world that I had exposed to that I always knew I was going to end up there. I always knew. I knew when I was 20, breaking into a window. I said, you know what? It's coming. I just don't know when. I'm going to keep myself out of there. I don't want to go in there. Yeah. But it's coming. For how long is going to be something else. It was something I was thinking about when I got to move my car at 4 o'clock or they'll fucking tow you in front. But that's why I'm all fucked up right now. But we got time. We got 15 more minutes. What was the worst place they put you in that you saw something that...
I don't even think I saw a lot of the same thing everywhere, but this spot called Goree Prison in Huntsville, and also the Walls. Goree unit in Huntsville. Oh man, it was atrocious. They had me locked in a box, literally in a box, man. It was a closet, and you had this one little sliver that you could look out, And that was it. No other walls. And it's like, yo, man. And I'm coming from, I'd already been locked up for a while. So I'm not accustomed to this. Whatever this is, I don't know. I don't like it. And they transfer me to somewhere else. I'm like, yo, man, this ain't where it's at. I'd rather have been in solitaire. I mean, just put me in solitary confinement and I'm good. But this, I'm not in solitary, but I'm in this box, man. And I literally, if I'm driving somewhere in Houston, if I go through Huntsville, I literally shoot the finger at Gory every single time that I pass, going and coming. No matter who I'm in the car with, they be like, yo, what's that about? Don't even worry about it. But that place over there is right off the highway in Huntsville, Texas. And I like every time. And it just irritated me to even be in that place. It's like it's something about that place that they put me in that box. I just couldn't take it.
In my whole journey, there was one place, and I thought I was gonna, because you go to, I went to county, and county was overcrowded. So they said they're gonna transfer you. Either you're gonna go to Missouri, you're gonna go to Texas, or you're gonna go to different county jails in Colorado, depending on your time. And they ended up putting me in a ski resort jail, which is supposed to be a piece of cake. Everybody in there was fucking nuts. And that's the first time the guards were going to Pathmark for you and getting your booze, bottles of booze. They came in at night and said, we're making a 10 o'clock run. Who got cash? Let's do this. Whiskey, $22 a bottle. I mean, they already had prices. This place was crazy. And it was a county jail. Everybody in there was white. I mean, there was maybe like 3 black people. And everybody was in there for hitting somebody in the head with a ski pole when they were drunk. It was just crazy. But before they took us to DOC, they took us to this other place. I was in there for 3 days. And guys, I got to tell you something. I wasn't scared. I was just, it really broke me down as a man. Like, it really made me feel for what I had done. Like, if that was it, I was gonna have an uncomfortable time. They put me by myself, and it was a basement with a slit, and that was it. And you went out to take a shower, you went out to play ball for an hour, and God forbid you got sweaty. Now you got to fucking lay there for 2 days with stinky fucking nuts. They had a little bit of toilet paper. You had a little metal toilet. It was colder than fuck at night. It was a metal bed. I didn't know. I really had doubts. I read 3 books in 2 days, and they searched them. They came into my thing 4 fucking times, and I was like, if this is what it's going to be like, that was my biggest lesson. I didn't like a man kicking my bed, telling me when I had to wake up. I didn't like that disrespect. That's what I think kept me out of there. I had it to a minimum. There was a couple dudes that fucked with me, but they fucked with me to see my reaction. The guards I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And with the guards, I kept it very cool. I kept it very low-key. They saw I was cool. I stayed away from the drugs. There was different trailers that had different drugs. If you stayed out of there, you were fucking cool.
Hardest time ever. It still bothers me to this day. I was on Bill Clemens' unit in Amarillo, Texas. A prison guard named Mitchell. I'm coming from necessities, and he just wanted to do a random strip search on me in front of everybody. And I told Mitchell, I say, this is not going to be good, man. And my uncle, once again, had advised me to buy some white shorts off a commissary and always wear them. He said they could have all of their stuff, but they now have a right to make you take off your own stuff for no reason. They can make you shake it out, but that's it. Mitchell trying to strip search me in front of everybody in the day room, like in this high traffic area. And I told him, I said, yo, man, you being unfair to me, and you doing this for no apparent reason, and it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. I've been here at that point I was there for like 5 years, and I had never been naked even in the shower, because I've always had these shorts on. So to take me out these shorts for no reason, Mitchell, I promise you, this is not gonna be good. And so they called all these officers around. Even the captain knew. He was like, Yo, what we doing? What happened? What's the deal? I just suspect him to have contraband. And I'm like, what type of man, I don't have anything. So they made me drop my shorts. And from that point, I knew I was never going home. I knew it. Because I knew I was going to kill Mitchell. I knew it. Nothing about him living. I knew it. And 4 months went by. And that's all I thought about was getting him every day. And it happened that the stars aligned. This guy was going to, I heard that Mitchell was on 4 building. I heard he was on the gate at 4 building. I had no clue how I was gonna get to 4 building. Cause I stay on 7 building. Had no clue. This guy got in 4 building is where they put you right before closed custody. It's like where a bunch of bad people go when you get a case in there or whatever. I can't remember the name right now. So this guy coming out with this white bucket that's on my tank. Like, yo, man, where you going? Like, yo, they just moved me to 4 building, man. You know, I gotta, build my status back up to come back over here. I said, you going to 4 building? Let me carry your mattress. And I ran to my cell, got my knife, and I came back down. And I'm like, yo, here we go. Boom. Got his mattress. The dude's rolling his bucket. And I'm literally walking with this mattress, and he has no clue what's going to happen. All I'm waiting for Mitchell is to open that door, open that gate. Once we go through, I'm going to stab Mitchell up. I know it. And it's the distance is so far from the door, nobody's going to be able to get to him before I kill him.
How close were you to getting out?
Oh, this is maybe a year.
Oh.
I wasn't even tripping. I would have never made it to pre-release. A dude named Leslie Davis, his name is Alameen, and Mustafa. I don't know who told them. They came in, it's like, yo, where Ali at? He helped the old boy move to 4 building. And they literally got out the building, out of 7 building. As soon as I got around the corner, Mitchell's opening the gate. The guy's rolling through with the bucket. And they come around the corner and they yell my name, Ali. And I turn around and Mitchell sees my face and he slams the door, slams the gate closed. And the satisfaction of me looking in his eyes and he knew that he was going to die that day was enough for me.
That's enough for me.
And I just looked at him. Until they walked up to me and said, man, put that mattress down, let's go. And I just looked at him. And I said, all right, Officer Mitchell, you have a good day. And I still thank them for that. Because they knew once my mind is made up, it's made up. It was nothing. I felt the lowest form of disrespect for him to strip me down for no reason. And it's like I felt like you had a fetish or you was getting off to that or something, and it just bothered me. I couldn't tolerate it. My mom to this day, she was like, I'm glad that never happened. But Mitchell, the satisfaction in his eyes, man, to this day, it's
of him knowing
still
that you knew and he fucking knew. Like once they look, there's a look, people, when somebody knows you got him, or it's a beautiful fucking look.
And I put that on all my kids. He knew it. He knew it.
Dog, I'm gonna just move the car. Keep this conversation going with Lee. Let me just go move this fucking car so I don't talk. It's right over here, and then we'll go. I'll take you down to the corner there, and you can Uber this motherfucker. You're not Ubering to pray, are you?
Nah. Yeah, man, that was one of the points. And after that, I probably chilled out so deep after that. It was like it was enough. I think that was the only thing that I needed to get off my chest before I left that place. And then they moved me to a pre-release. So I was good after that.
It's crazy to me. Since I've never been in that situation to be like, okay, I'm gonna get out in a year. Yeah, this dude was an asshole, but I could just let it be. But you're like, no, I have to. He has to pay for it.
Yeah, it's
a different mindset.
Yeah, because in there, it's no letting somebody make it with that form of disrespect.
Right. Have you had any? You talked about it being difficult to transition back, but have you had any actual instances where you were like, oh, you went almost went too far, or you did go too far?
Not since I've been home, you know. But even when I think back then, I don't think I ever went too far. I think I went right to the edge, and then I pulled back. I think the Creator really looked out for me. You know, when it said look out for children and fools, and for a lot of them years, I was just a straight fool. I was a savage. Then I got a little bit more grounded. But before Mitchell, there was no incidents. It was just like I was just a normal person just walking through prison life, and it was nothing.
Was that your first arrest?
Yeah, that was my first time ever being incarcerated. It only takes one. It only takes one.
It's scary as fuck, man.
You know?
Is it possible to request solitary? I've thought about that.
You would have to play crazy or something.
Okay, deal.
Who do you think you're dealing with? Some fucking novice?
You had to play crazy to get just request solitaire.
Okay.
What kind of request?
I said, is it possible to request solitary in prison? Because I would be terrified.
What you gotta do is get up and hit somebody in the head with the tray with the food there, and they'll put you in there for free. You could save a fucking tree.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. That was a quick run, Jack.
Oh my god.
I took the car from the front, cut like 3 people off,
Fuck them.
and the tow truck was right down the corner. They don't play. This is how they're making a living here.
I'm on the side.
You're in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cool.
Okay.
If you're in the front of the fucking building, 4 o'clock, they're out there. You hear that beep, beep, beep? That means you're going down, cocksucker. That's Morse code right there. So you got to move the fucking car. Huh?
Good call.
Who the fuck you think you're dealing with? Some novice? I know how they fucking bang you here. They don't fuck around in L.A., bro. That's the quickest way they get you when you first move to this town. They start banging you with tickets, really weird tickets. Then you miss one, now your car gets towed. You go do comedy one night, you come out, your car is gone. You go down and you owe $252 for fucking one ticket you didn't pay.
I got a ticket in my parking spot for my apartment. I had my landlord write a letter saying this is his parking spot. And I went in and sent it to them, and they're like, no, we still want our money.
Oh, they don't give a fuck.
So, yeah.
They don't give a fuck. They don't give a Frenchman's fuck about nothing. Ali, man, I'm happy I got you on. I've been thinking about just the journey you had. I wish we had 3 more fucking hours, because we could talk to you for 3 more hours. We get some in and out shipped in. They'll Uber that shit in.
That's a service.
Very interesting. You should be very proud of yourself, and your family's proud of you. I mean, you're fucking doing it. You know, this is no dream. You know, I wanted to talk to you. That was the most important thing of the conversation. The first 2 weeks after you getting sentenced, how your mind goes to a dark place. That's how you become a savage, Lee. Because you realize you don't have a life. Everything, now you start remembering everything somebody told you. Every time a teacher pulled you over and said you ain't gonna make it, or you're a fucking idiot, or every time your dad said to you, hey man, that's when you realize everybody was telling you the truth. Now your mind turns into something else. Your mind turns into a fucking loser. Once your mind believes it, you're going to fucking believe it. And where the fuck are you? You're in jail. You're in jail. If you were a winner, you're not in fucking jail. So your mind turns on you. And now you have to work your mind out of that. And once you get to your destination, yeah, you start taking classes, you do jumping jacks. But for a couple days there, man, your mind goes to a weird place. Like, you're not going to be saved. So you know what? Now you're looking for a motherfucker to get in your way. You're looking for a motherfucker to get in your way, because I might as well do 30 fucking years in this shit.
That's when they sentenced me to 15 years.
Horrible. It's horrible.
I literally said that I wasn't probably ever coming out.
No, you're not going to come out. What the fuck for?
And it was his first arrest, he was saying.
Who? Oh, yeah. They ain't fucking around. Wait, they running a charity out there? What do you fucking think we're here? You think we're telling this story because... And it switches quickly, people. How quick does it come? Quick. 1 minute you're in county, and it gets worse when you're in county, right? Because You think you're getting busted for one thing, then they come back with 6 more.
6
More.
more. You like, yo, that was I got busted for one
Wait a
thing.
second,
What is
yeah.
this case and that
Well,
case and
that
this
watch you had on was stolen. It was on a murdered dude who got shot in Puerto Rico with a gun from the government. And you're like, what the fuck are you saying? The wallet you had belonged to Kennedy's bodyguard in Dallas. They got stolen at the cemetery.
You took 2 steps one way and now it's evading arrest. They put that on you. You're like, what?
It is unbelievable. So your mind goes to this weird place. And trust me, man, most of the people that stay in there for long periods of time stay in there, brother. Your mind is the first thing that goes to prison. Once your mind believes it, that's it. You got to keep saying this is just a temporary thing. Like it was just a temporary thing for me. I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Once I hit that halfway house, I'm getting an envelope. I'm getting the fuck out of here. But in my journey, I knocked the chick up. And that's what held me back. They put me back in the halfway house. I was in there for 6 more fucking months. I got out. Then I was working at a car wash under strict supervision. But I would talk to this dude once a week. I would talk to this dude, dog. I'll leave once a week. Come in, hey, Joe, hey, what's happening? I forget what his fucking name is now. What's happening? What do you want? The usual? And I'd write on his windshield, and he'd give me $1 tip. I'd give him like a free armor roll or something. And one day he comes out, and he goes, you go to school? And I go, yeah, I'm trying to finish my degree. They won't let me on campus because I got a felony. He goes, you know who I am? I go, no. He goes, I'm the district attorney of Boulder. And we started talking. He goes, what's going on with you? And I told him about the kidnapping and stuff. And he goes, all right, do me a favor. Have your attorney type up a letter, and I'll sign it. Done. The DA that convicted me was somewhere else now. He had gone to work for the feds and environmental and the other DA. So he's like, they're not there now. I could just sign this off. What are your plans? I go, I'm going to move to Jersey and go work for these people. He goes, just have. That's how I got that whole fucking spiel. I thought he cut me down by 18 months. A relationship I made at a car wash with some dude that I spoke to for 6 months before I ever even asked him what he did. And there was another motherfucker that came in there. That's when I learned the world of undercover cops. See, once I got out of prison was when I got the world of undercover cops. I had a dude that would come in with cars all the time. And then they told me, they go, what these cops do is if you're from Boulder, they don't work in Boulder. They work in Denver. And the Denver cops work Boulder. And they have these cars that they got to maintain. They got to wash. And you'd see them, they pose like regular drug dealers. One day they have a Cadillac, the next day they got a Porsche. What would you think? Joey, how many cars you got? I got like 6 motherfucking cars. You ain't nothing. You're a $400 a week cop, but that's how they get you, Lee. Amazing. And they would talk to me. They'd start talking to me. I told them who I was, what I was involved in. They're like, yeah, we heard of that case. And they're like, we busted the other guy one day. You know how we busted him? We took a plane with him to Miami. This motherfucker took a cop with him all the way to Florida and copped in front of the cop. And they nailed him at the fucking airport. Some guy was doing time with. So it's pretty amazing the shit you meet. For you people who listen to the podcast, this was Criminal Week. I don't know if you realize that. We had Danny call in on last Thursday, and we were just covering this because a lot of people hit me up. But that's it. The whole Ali thing isn't criminal. It's a fucking success story, and I'm proud to have you here today. Thank you. Where you performing at the next couple of weeks?
I'm at the Brea Improv tonight. Then I'm at the Arlington Improv. And then after that, I'm in San Antonio at the LOL River Center. I'm there forever, like almost a week.
What's your website?
AliSiddiq.com. AliSiddiq, and same as on my Instagram and all the rest of them things. You know, man, I thank everybody for, I definitely thank Ari. Thank you. This is not happening has really boosted my career a lot. And people want me to tell this story at comedy shows, and I'm like, this is a real story. That wasn't a bit that I was doing. That's like a real story. He's like, is it true? I'm like, yeah, pretty much. This is the truth. And it's Spanish dudes that I see that I was locked up with. They're like, yo, man, we did have on boots, man. Yeah, I know the signs of things now. So, man, it's just been a good ride. And, hopefully, they bring me back for next season. And, all your stories are great on there. Yeah, I think you have to be the most You've been on every season. It's like
Since day one, I did the first one.
Yeah.
I did the first one in the back of the Improv. We were on a plane together, and we were talking about music. And he goes, come down and do a story. But when I got down there, I thought of a different story. Sometimes you just there watching somebody like, oh, shit. And I told that story, and that got fucking a bunch of hits. And it's weird. People come up to me after the show and say, you didn't tell the story about Pink Floyd, man. Who's going to say that, fuck? That's a one-shot deal.
Yeah.
That you went up there, it started flowing, you got in your zone, you start throwing shit out there, and it gets clicking. You can never repeat that feeling. So, just so people at home, thank you, little brother. Let me give a shout out to the sponsors, and we'll get you the fuck out of here. Lee, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man.
Right? You're good tonight. The cookie would have been over fucking killed, correct? The 500 milligram brownie?
I mean, it's overkill already, but yeah. The
No,
cookie
no,
would've
this
been
is a
more
tremendous
overkill.
little thing. I want to thank all our weed sponsors, from my main man,
I don't know what those are.
Anarchy Edibles. You don't need to know. Anarchy Edibles to Karova sending us a little box, but Anarchy Edibles, those stars of death, still fucking kill motherfuckers coast to coast as usual. Killing motherfuckers. On it.com. Always killing motherfuckers. Whether it's with kettlebells or fucking the ropes of death.
Battle ropes.
Or battle ropes, or supplements, whatever the fuck you need, on it's right there for you. They're the leader in nootropics. And the one to kick down the door, wave in the 4-4, alpha brain like a motherfucker. You want to be sharp, or you want to keep walking around like a fucking half a momo, not remembering shit. Meanwhile, you're 23 and you only snorted paint one time. This is what I'm talking about. Get your mind back. On it.com. Complete earth-grown nootropics with alpha GPC and AC11. Do I know what that means? I got no fucking idea. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. But it's got to be something good because it's on it. Go to onit.com and look at the great selections that they have, whether it's the testosterone booster, to the tea oil, the coconut oil that you could dip into your coffee or your fish or in your eggs, whatever the fuck you want to do. Shroom Tech Sport, Shroom Tech Immune, always a staple. Should always have Shroom Tech Sport in your bag if you're thinking of jumping up and down. And basically, I'm giving you 10% off today. Wednesday, July 15th, I'm giving you 10% off. That's how much I love you. Get your Onnit career started right now. Go to Onnit.com, read everything, take a look at what they got, press in the box,
Church.
and get 10% off. You go to Alpha Brain, it's not what I told you. You fucking send it back or don't send it back, we give you a money back guarantee, all right?
I can't wait to eat edibles with you.
What happened, dog?
I can't wait to eat edibles with you.
Oh, we're going to, this one right here, we might close up with this. This is the 300 podcast. We might have to eat another.
No.
What do you mean? No.
Like Lee is begging.
We might have to eat another
Please.
fucking thing. Lee.
Please, no more eating.
Lee, people are at home right now going, Lee.
300 episode, Lee.
300 episode, Lee. Or I'll tell you what, let's leave it to fate. Either we split the Quaalude or we take a bite out of the brownie. What do you think? Let's split the Quaalude. What do you think? And go out and fucking call Paul and tell her you got some for her.
What are you trying to Cosby me, man?
I'm not going to Cosby. It's not like I'm going to tie you up and take pics of you and send it to Israel.
It's creepy as fuck. It's a tiny little bottle.
No, this will fuck you up. Half of this. We'll see the devil. We'll give you a bicycle with a helmet so you don't get hurt. What is it going to be, Lee? Do you want him or do you want me? Because I want you. You know what I'm saying? The words of Prince here. Anyway, NatureBox.com. Joy, what the fuck you got for me, Joy? I tell you what I got. Delicious, nutritious snacks delivered right to your fucking doorstep. And when I tell you delicious, nutritious snacks, I'm talking about cocoa bonds. I'm talking about Hawaiian plantain chips. I'm talking about the other plantain, the garlic plantain chips. I'm talking about products that are so fucking you can't even believe they're good for you. You don't have to go put change into the fucking office thing no more. You know why? Because you can eat them at night and you can zip them back up and put them in your desk and stop being a fucking savage all your life. But you know what? Don't believe me. Say, Joey, I don't give a fuck about your product. Yes, you do, because I'm giving it to you for free. I'm going to give you a 5-bag sample box on the fucking cuff. That's how I roll, bitches. 2 big bags, 3 little ones delivered right to your house. The only thing you're paying for is shipping, like $1.90. So stop fucking whining. I'm going to send you snacks that are going to rock your world. Go to naturebox.com and pick out 5 fucking snacks. Register. They get sent to your house. And you're going to fucking hit me up on Twitter and say, Joey, who's better than you, cocksucker, sending me those snacks for free? Go to naturebox.com and press in.
Go to naturebox.com/Joey.
Boom! And there you have it. A fucking free box shipped right to your door. Delicious, nutritious, proportioned. I mean, products that the granola. It's just, listen, I'm too high to break it down for you right now. You got to catch me before 12 if you want lists and shit like that. Number 2, you know what else I'm going to take care of you with?
What?
MeUndies.com.
Oh, shit.
All right, they're also going to take over the Periscope, I think. But listen, I got MeUndies on right now. I got the leopard ones. You want me to fucking show you? I think I got the black ones with the purple fucking stripe. That's how I'm feeling today. Black with a purple stripe. Are you kidding me or what? Anyway, go to MeUndies.com right now and look at the great selection of women and men shorts, athletics wear, sweatpants. I mean, they got shit, and it's comfortable as fuck. It's light. They got these cut-off sweatpants that you get. I got red ones. They are so fucking comfortable. Do you understand me? And like the underwear, they cup your nutsack, which is big in my world. I'm 52. My nuts are all over the fucking place. I scrambled eggs. So what you do is you get the underwear, and then you put the underwear on first, then you put the pants on. Listen, you're comfortable as shit. MeUndies, and they pull the sweat away from the nutsack, so your nuts are always fresh. Who's better than you? You want to show up with stinky balls, or you want to show up looking bad to the bone and your balls are all fresh? MeUndies.com. Go there right now and look at the great selection of women and men's shorts, boy shorts, whatever the fuck you're into, little tan tops, sweat hoods. I love you guys. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Go to MeUndies right now and press in.
Joey.
Boom! 20% off like a motherfucker and free shipping in the United States and Canada, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's how I'm taking care of you with MeUndies.com. But don't take it from me. Go to MeUndies.com right now and check out the great selection that they have. Go to NatureBox.com and get your free sample box. And always, Honor.com, the leader in the tropics, trying to fucking get your mind straight just in case you got hit in the head with a safe somewhere along the line. I love you guys. Thank you for being here for 300 episodes. I want to thank my main man, Ali, for coming in here and fucking blessing us with some prison stories. Listen, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Don't be a punk-ass bitch. You make a mistake, you go in, you come out, and you can do whatever the fuck you want from scratch. And there'll be people there for you. I don't know who's going to be there for you, but trust me, it all works out.
It all work out.
It all works out, brother.
I'm going to MeUndies. You sold me on this underwear.
Yeah, no, this bad shit right there. Lee, shut this motherfucker down till Monday. What?